I'm live and only slightly distracted. I'm getting ready to pull up a little bit of information that we might talk about. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. So, mainly today, well, as always, we'll talk about yoga, we'll talk about meditation, but I'm specifically interested in talking about breath work today. As anyone who's ever come to my channel, even just the burpee stuff, I'm very immersed in the practice of breath work. I am a breath work coach, as well as always a student, finding new things or new ways of exploring the aspects of using the breath. And that's just it. That's the key point, that we get to use the breath to change our physiology in an instant. It's one of the few, maybe the only tool that I know that we have as part of us right here, right now, that we can use to create the environment that we need within ourselves almost instantly. I can lower my blood pressure by several points, 10 points on occasion, just by doing the proper breath work. I can create energy, help wake myself up, help get myself moving, help inspire me. I can even myself out, meaning that if I find that I'm in a state of stress, I can calm myself down without going too far down or going too far up. Or I can help get myself ready for sleep. I can enter myself, let's put it this way, I can move from one nervous state to the next. I can go from parasympathetic to sympathetic, back to parasympathetic easily, just by using my breath, my own body, the own tools of my body, which is pretty amazing. Now, you can get those effects through meditation. I can close my eyes and meditate for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I will be calmer, more at ease. My brain waves will be different. I'll be more peaceful, more responsive, and it will last for a certain amount of time, as well as having lasting effects on my physiology, as well as my emotional state. But it takes some time. It'll take me, and I'm an experienced meditator, um, a few minutes before things start to calm down, a little bit longer for my mind to get still, a little bit longer for me to slip into that gap. And some days, even now, 30 years into meditation practice, even now, there are times when my mind just doesn't settle down to the point I wish it would. I still have those, maybe even more so having those expectations, because more often than not, I'm able to go pretty deep in meditation. On those occasions when it doesn't seem to happen, all the more disconcerting. Breath work, you never have those issues. You just breathe in a specific manner and you get specific results. Very scientific. Not that meditation isn't. Meditation isn't hit or miss, because you're still getting effects, even if you don't feel that you've entered that realm that you would like to, that realm of deep silence. But you're still getting the effects. So meditation is always beneficial. Same with practicing yoga, the asanas. I try to make that distinct. When I say practicing yoga, what 90% of the time, what I really mean is practicing the asanas. But truly, practicing yoga is the whole gambit, from the ethical foundation of the yamas and yamas, which I've been talking about quite a bit and quite frequently. Then the pranayama, breathing, which we're talking about a little bit more here today, and then the asanas. Combining the asanas and pranayama is even more powerful. I've been working with that through my recent studying of teaching hatha yoga. And when I did my breathwork coaching, he lays it out, it's through Yoga Body. He lays it up very scientifically. This is why you want to breathe this way for this result. If you want a different result, don't do this breath. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. If you want energy in the morning, if you want to warm up, if you want to get the blood flowing, enter sharper type of brainwave activity, you do breath of fire or bellows breath. It's a faster breathing. Focus on a short exhalation. Natural inhale. With the bellows breath, you're forcing the exhalation and you're forcing the inhalation. Breath of fire or skull shining breath, you're just doing one. You're forcing the exhalation. If you want, again, that even keel type of energy, focus on that even breath. 4 in through the nose, 4 out through the nose. Adding in the UJ breathing, the bellows breath, or the ocean breath, sorry. If you want to go farther down, entering that parasympathetic, that rest and response, or rest and recover nervous state, the parasympathetic nervous state, then you do a slower breath specifically on the exhale. So breathe in for a count of 8, or for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8. To get even deeper into the parasympathetic nervous state, block off your right side, exhale through the left, count of 8. So I'm breathing in both nostrils, count of 4, breathing in for 4. I got that pranayama mudra, breathing out for a count of 8. 10 rounds. You've effectively changed your physiology as well as your the nervous state that you're in. So it's pretty amazing. You have this tool at your disposal right now at any given time. Are you anxious? Follow a specific breathing pattern. Are you sleepy? Follow a specific breathing pattern. Do you need to go to sleep, but you're feeling a little keyed up? Again, something specific, and you get the specific results that you want every time. Does that mean that you're going to fall asleep instantly if you do this practice? Sometimes. Not instantly, but within a short period of laying your head down. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer. Sometimes maybe 2 or 3 rounds repeating. What I find, even when I can't sleep, if I just lay in bed and I practice the breathing in for 4, breathing out for 8, using the UJ breathing, the ocean breath, that even if I don't seem to fall asleep immediately, I'm entering this restful state, deeply restful state, that is almost the equivalent of actual sleep. So I'm getting those benefits. It's better than laying up, looking at the clock, counting down the amount of time that I have to stay in bed until I have to get up. Inducing anxiety, that I can't sleep anxiety, that's just secular, it constantly revolving through the head, through the mind. So we have these tools, and yet it's not commonly known. And if it is commonly known, it's just not commonly practiced. We really should change that, because we have these tools at our disposal. They're ours, our breath, our body, and we can change our health just by practicing it. Same with yoga. Same with the yoga asanas, I should say. We have the tools for our body to have a better state of health. And by health, I just don't mean fitness, cardio, muscular strength. Excuse me. I'm talking about well-being, emotional well-being, as well as physical well-being. Specifically changing your health. It doesn't take much. You can do a 90-minute yoga class. You can do it at home, learning it yourself, or an online class where you can go to a studio, but you don't need to. You can wake up in the morning and have a 20-minute, 15-minute yoga routine. Half an hour if you include everything. Let's say half an hour, and it includes a morning chant just to get you going. You're not chanting to invoke anything other than the vibration of well-being. Chanting the resonance, um, is what works. The vibration, that's what changes it. You're not chanting in a celebratory manner of whatever. It's not praise. It's not. It certainly could be if you're of a spiritual or religious bent. But what you're doing is you're giving into that vibration of well-being that literally changes. We know through quantum physics, everything's a vibration. Even if you don't believe in string theory, which some physicists now don't think it's 100% correct, nothing's 100% correct, especially science, because we still, even believing we know so much, we know so little. We should never be so full of ourselves, our thoughts, our beliefs, our education that we think we're at the bottom of things, because bam, we pull the rug out from underneath and there's turtles all the way down. So anyway, vibrations, chanting 3 times. Om. Om is the sound of the universe. If everything, all this noise, distractions were calmed down, quieted, softer and softer and softer, we'd hear Om. That's what the ancient rishis, the seers, the yogis, that's what they heard. And that's what they gave us. So we wake up, shake things off, shake off the sleep. We chant Om. Then we do our breath of fire. 20 breaths, 3 rounds, all we need. Then we lie down, Savasana. It's called the corpse pose, lying on a yoga mat, feet sort of sprawled out, letting them go to the sides, hands to your side, eyes closed, head down, laying down like a corpse, breathing, doing the easy breath. Easy breath is a yoga breath, and it's the natural breath. We breathe out, and our belly fills. We breathe in, and our belly drops. Nothing's forced. Nothing needs to be forced. It's how we breathe. To get the feel of that, put your right hand on your chest, your left hand on your belly, and you should feel your belly move. Breathing in, it moves out, pushes your hand out. Breathing in, and you should feel your hand drop. What you shouldn't feel is your chest move, because we're not chest breathing. We are belly breathing, nice and easy, hence the name Easy Breath. It's the simplest breath we can do to help calm ourselves down. So breathing nice and easy. Good morning, Duncan. Happy Monday to you. And then we have the yogic breath, or the full breath, or the full yogic breath, which is the same thing, except we're breathing from the belly. After the belly is filled, we move up, we fill the chest. After the chest is filled, we move up, and we fill the throat. And then we exhale, and we empty the belly, we empty the chest, we empty the throat. Full yogic breath. Easy breath that you can do anytime. If you're in line in the supermarket and you're feeling stress, if you're getting ready to go into a meeting, just do that full yogic breath just a couple times. Nice and calm. We can do that again in the morning. You're up, you've chanted, you've done your breath of fire. My friend, Destiny Forever Walks, PhD is here. Thank you very much, my friend. And thank you for, you know what, I'm just going to take a moment. Thank you for the energy that you put out there on your channel. When I see you on the treadmill, when I see you jumping rope, and I see the joy that you bring to your fitness routine, it fills me with that same inspiration and that same joy that I'm able to do the things that I do every day. Anyone who puts that on their channel, to me, it's a big salute, because you're putting good out in the world, which I really appreciate that. And I would be remiss if I also didn't mention Duncan. Very similar. Uh, my opinion, Duncan's got one of the premier fitness channels on YouTube. Um, just great stuff. So back to the breath. Oh, and I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing the breath. So it's definitely a passion of mine. Yoga, breath, anything that we can do that helps our well-being. That, and again, when I use well-being, I just don't mean fitness. I'm talking about our emotional well-being, our spiritual well-being, and our physical well-being. All of it being tied together. You can't have one without the other. You can't be physically fit without being emotionally fit, without being spiritually fit. They all go hand in hand. Um, and it's a system. We work them all together in their own different ways, but they're all one thing. So I was basically just talking about an easy morning routine. It doesn't have to be involved. It doesn't have to be, a 90-minute yoga class every single day. Just wake up. You offer that little chant, Om. Doesn't have to mean anything. Do it for the vibration. Om is also the sound of the manifest universe, meaning that before the Big Bang, when there was absolutely nothing, no sound, no energy, time and space was created with the expansion of the Big Bang as it was needed. It didn't exist before the Big Bang, before the universe, nothing. And then that singularity of energy just expanded. The sound of that expansion, Om, sound of the universe. So when you chant Om, just 3 times, what you're saying is, I am grateful for all that is. I am grateful and in tune. I'm chanting in tune, a vibratory match for the universe. Grateful for my home. And this is my home. Not just my house, not just my neighborhood, not just my country, or even the world, the entire universe. It's my home. I'm literally part of it. I am made of the same elements. The elements that make me were created, forged in the heat of the Big Bang. It's so hard to realize the depth of who we are, that those elements, ancient, I'm not talking about similar elements, the very same ones, the very same particles were created in the Big Bang. And they now make me, and they now make you. That makes us no less than the universe itself. If you want to think about God's plan, there it is. We're made of the universe. Destiny says, I appreciate your kind words and compliments. You inspire me, and you're super amazing as well. Your fitness workouts, you give me a giant boost of energy when you're watching the workouts. Thank you. I appreciate hearing that. I definitely love my workouts. I definitely love what I do. Just coming here, putting my workout out. I'm going to be doing it anyway, so why not share it? And then it just occurred to me to share the stuff that I've been learning my entire life. Yoga, meditation, breath work, all of it. So again, one of the simplest practices that we can do It's just those 3 ohms in the morning, matching our own vibratory rate with that of the universe. Again, which is one of gratefulness. When you're grateful, everything changes because you are shown all of which you should be grateful for every single day, especially when we're practicing breath work. The amazing gift of breath. We can't take that for granted because there are those who struggle with their breath for whatever reason. But it's given so freely. And when we nourish it, when we're grateful for it, it becomes even more unrestrained, free-flowing. So after the Om, we focus on the breath, whatever type of breath work. Thus he says that we are the universe, and the universe is in us. God blew his breath into the nostrils of man, and man became a living soul. God put himself in us, prana. Amen, my friend. Absolutely. That is biblical source of wisdom, breath of God. And we can hear that. We can hear the breath of God. It is what it is. My friend Lewis is here joining us. Nice to see you, my friend. Lewis just did an awesome 500 plus Navy SEALs yesterday. Or I'm sorry, 5 pump yesterday. Absolutely amazing. Lewis is another one who knows the value of gratefulness. You can see it in the work that he puts out there. It seems to me those who are of the highest performance, and by highest performance, I don't mean whatever job you have. I don't mean the things that you earn, the things that you work for, or anything like that. What I mean in highest performance, the people who do what they do joyfully, with no small amount of gratefulness, with no small amount of grace, courage, determination, those qualities in life that we almost can't describe, but we know it when we see it. Almost magical. So after we breathe, we do that chant, we do our breath, we lay down on the yoga mat, we just let ourselves be. It's called Savasana, and again, corpse pose. And we're just breathing naturally. We're allowing a natural rest and relaxation to take over. And then we get up. You really don't need much yoga. You can do, again, a 90-minute yoga routine. You can do an hour yoga routine, 30 minutes. Or pick 3 postures, 3 poses. I would do downward dog. I would do a squat, the garland pose, which is a full squat, elbows between the knees. You're gently prying the legs open so that you're opening up the hips. And I would do the shoulder stand. 3 powerful poses. Hold them 30 seconds to a minute each. In between, you do child's pose. You finish off with Savasana again. And you get up and you go about your day. You've done a complete yoga practice. Specifically, you've practiced that yoga of gratefulness. Remember, yoga is not physical. That's yoga asanas, the yoga postures. A little bit of difference. Yoga is a complete program. Self-realization. You get into self-realization, then you get into God realization. You get into God realization, you get into self-realization. You're coming to know yourself as a child of the universe, as an aspect of God, God's creation. However you want to view it. That's the essence of yoga. That's what we're coming to. That's why it's called a practice, because you do these things to help realize. Now, some might say somewhere in that brief little yoga program, we're missing meditation, with meditation being one of the 8 limbs of yoga. When you're lying in Savasana and you're watching the breath, you are meditating. There you go. Destiny says that your passions and gift are already in us, waiting for us to manifest. The Bible says that your gift will make room for you. So when you showcase our gifts before man, it's genuine performance. Exactly again. You're every comment, you're just absolutely nailing, Destiny. And again, that's being grateful. A lot of people are like, well, give me something and then I'll be grateful. But how can something manifest? We wouldn't even notice it without that gratefulness. It is what it is, says Destiny is an amazing person. Yes, she is. Absolutely. I think, you know what? Entire community. It's just an amazing community. Um, Speaking of gratefulness, I'm just grateful to be part of it. It came to me at just the right time. Here's the funny thing. When I was doing a little bit ago my meditation teacher's certification, I had to make videos. And I wasn't even talking to someone. I just had to make a video as if I was teaching someone meditation. Uh, and Mocha would point the camera at me, and I would absolutely freeze up. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk in front of a camera to save my life. I just kept stumbling all over myself. And again, it wasn't even live. But I got through it. You know, I got my teaching certification. I got my breath coach certification. About a year ago, just a little over a year ago, Paul from Oregon, Nick from, I can't remember Nick's channel's name. It's a good man. He's in New Zealand. Both sort of teased me into putting out a video because I would always comment on their burpee video. And they were like, you know, you're doing the workouts. You're here encouraging everyone. Put out a video. Very good naturedly, just urging me to do so. And I thought, you know, I'll try to do one. And if it's as bad as my meditation coaching or teachers videos, I'll never do it again or never even post it. For whatever reason, maybe it's the community here, the burpee fitness community, things just opened up and I started talking. I haven't stopped talking since. Videos every day. I'm sure Paul and Nick are like, what have we created? How do we get this guy to finally stop talking? He's been talking about yoga and meditation and breath work and all this other stuff forever now. I deeply appreciate their encouragement. It's just opened up a whole new world, a whole new conversation with me. For me, you know, I write every morning. I consider myself a writer. I've kept a blog that I've been putting out and publishing for 20 plus years. I never miss a day of writing. And it's my artwork. It's my art form. Lyrical prose about whatever. Nature, yoga, burpees, spirituality, whatever. Could be anything. Talking to you guys, having these conversations, it's another way of being creative, of being inspired. It's another way of being artistic, is how I see it. It is what it is, says, we love your positive attitude, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really consider it the smallest gift that I can offer back to what I get from each and every one of you. Destiny says, the Bible says, give it and it shall be given unto us. In other words, God is saying that we give first and we will bring others to give to us. And that is not always monetary giving, the gift of love and life. Absolutely, again. Um, and that's such a key point that we miss because we're conditioned to think, put in that, put in that hard work and then you'll get something. But what's really meant by that isn't putting in that hard work of sweat and toil. That's one aspect of it. That's an important aspect. But the real work is opening ourselves up to be able to receive, to have that gratefulness of just existing, of just being alive, and then gift upon gift upon gift upon gift is given. It's the same way as we breathe. One breath is a gift. We come alive into existence, into form with one breath. And then the universe opens up and we're given the entire sky, infinite air to breathe from without having to ask for it. We don't beg for a breath. We simply open up and we breathe. Amazing. Destiny says, I appreciate your very kind words. It is what it is. Uh, and so are you. Amazing. Much love to you. Yes. Lewis, if you caught 500 plus 5 pumps, how long did that take you, Lewis? Several hours. Um, it's just amazing. And again, that's a gift. That's not, that's a form of yoga right there. Yoga, the word yoga means yoke, to bring together. And what they mean is that we are bringing the unmanifest world of spirit to the manifest world of the solid appearing earth and realizing that they're one and the exact same thing. When you're moving like that, what you're showing the world, what you're showing yourself, what you're showing everyone is that the divine yoga of motion. You're using the gifts that you have. Not everyone can do 500 plus 5 pumps or 105 pumps. To not do that, for someone like Lewis, to not do that would be not using his gifts. Someone might watch that. Someone right now who can't even do one burpee might watch that and think, I'd like to be able to do 100. I wonder if I do one. And tomorrow maybe I'll do 2. And all that. Before you know it, he's doing 100 or more. And all of that because one day, Lewis and Uncle Burpee Yoga said, hey, let's see what we can do. And there you have it. That's why we do what we do. It all stems from gratefulness. Just being grateful. We woke up today. I've had some difficult times past 2 years, even probably a little bit longer than that. In no moment have I not been grateful, even that I'm experiencing sorrow. Even in my deepest point of anxiety attacks, as I was caregiving for my father through COVID, determined that he was not going to die from COVID. Keep him safe, above all. Keep my father safe. When I took over the role of caregiver, I kept that one word in focus: care. Giving my father care. I would not let him get sick from COVID and dying alone, away from other people. I know what happens. It breaks my heart that it happened, but I wasn't going to let it happen to my father. But that stress, without me even realizing it, was eating me up. And then on top of that stress, believing that I was immune to stress because I was a 30-year plus meditator, because I practiced breath work, because I did yoga every day, because I took care of myself, I thought, I'm immune to stress. So I didn't realize I was undergoing that until in the middle of the night, I couldn't catch my breath. I felt like there was something immensely wrong with me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't lie down. I had to get up. I had to keep moving. All I could do all night long was walk up and down the steps, up and down the steps, doing laps, keep it moving. Every time I sat down, it would hit me again. And even then, I didn't realize it was anxiety because I was supposed to be immune from it. But it just goes to show you, we don't pick and choose what happens to us. Life happens. And life is full of everything. Let me pull up a quote here, an old quote that I reposted on Facebook yesterday. Frederick Buechner, an author. These are the words that he said. Here is the world. Beautiful and terrible things will happen. Don't be afraid. I was afraid to realize that I was suffering. Again, I was supposed to be this advanced, self-realized yogi. I wasn't supposed to suffer. But unless I can appreciate the fact that I am suffering and even be grateful for that, I can't begin to get better. You have to realize that you're not immune from life. It happens. As Buechner said, beautiful and terrible things will happen. That's life. Life has suffering. We could try to figure out why, but does it matter? It just does. We don't try to overcome our suffering. We move through it. We move with it. We know that to suffer means we're feeling the world deeply. The universe is expressing itself through us, as us, and we don't get to pick and choose. But we can get better. And again, as Buechner said, don't be afraid. But don't be afraid, he doesn't mean fear isn't present. It means that we don't give into that fear. Destiny says, life happens. We don't get to pick and choose. We are predestined before the foundation of the world was formed. Sorry, reading the small print is always difficult for me. My advanced years. Everything happens in divine timing and in his plan. And I just love that we don't get to pick and choose. Because for whatever reason, we start believing that life meets our demands, or that it should meet our demands. Here's the essence of Buddhism. First noble truth of Buddhism: life is suffering. Second noble truth of Buddhism: life is suffering because everything in life, in the world, is always changing, constantly changing, never the same. And yet we try to hold on to that which is changing. If you realize it's changing, you don't need to hold on to it. But that doesn't mean you can't love it deeply. We know we're going to lose our parents. We know we're going to lose, when we have a dog, we're going to lose our dog. And there's almost nothing more heartbreaking than losing our dogs. That doesn't mean we don't love them. It means we love them all the more deeply because we know things are going to change. That's what Frederick Buechner meant when he said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to love. Love the impermanent, because love is the only permanent thing. Love itself is the only permanent thing. So when you give yourself to love, it means you're giving yourself to gratefulness. You're grateful for all that happens because it's happening. What other choice do you have? That it doesn't happen? That means we don't exist. Not a choice at all. So this has been a great conversation, and I really appreciate it. Um, all of you guys joining in and adding to it so much. Wouldn't have been a conversation without you guys, and I wouldn't have had this depth without everything you brought to it. So thank you. I appreciate it. Uh, with that, we are at the 40-minute mark, and I am doing my best to keep things brief, which is no easy task for me. Um, Destiny says we have to learn to let go and go with the flow and frequency of the universe. Probably our most important lesson. Some might say it's the only important lesson. What do they say in AA? Let go and let God. It's like trying to living your life as if it's a clenched fist. All you feel is tension. That's it. Tension. You're ready to fight. Everything's clenched. Versus living your hands with open palms. Right now, open palms, my hands, I'm receiving the entire world. The universe pressed against my open palms. There is no point where my hands end and the universe begins, where the universe ends and my hand begins. It's just there, all of it, right now, this moment. So, Lewis says, have a great day, family. Thank you for the live, Eric. Thank you, Lewis. Destiny says, thanks, Eric, for the wisdom and great topic. Thank you. I appreciate it. And again, thanks for joining me, guys. And we'll end it here. Big bow, gratitude. That's been the theme that we've been talking about. Destiny offers a thank you for Lewis for the inspiration and encouragement. Yes, definitely. Big thanks for that. And a big hope that you are fully recovered from your 500 rep effort yesterday. You guys take care.